Hello there, a great evening to you indeed, and many thanks for joining us on Rwanda Television News tonight. I hope that you had yourselves a great and productive midweek, Wednesday, and welcome to our tonight's edition. As we start it off, the Rwanda Patriotic Front, RPF in Inkotanyi, on Tuesday concluded the by-elections at the provincial and Kigali city level in a bid to get the party's candidate in the July 2024 presidential election. Adam Squizera, start us off tonight.
The primary elections for determining the RPF candidate in the presidential elections have been concluded at the provincial level and Kigali. Local residents have noted fairness and democratic nature of these primary elections.
The pillar of democracy was respected during these primary elections because we even found the participation of independent candidates as long as you met with the requirements. So having them standing on the quest of the competition with our very own candidate, President Paul Kagame, literally shows how the democracy was highly respected during these primary elections.
The major thing is the way the members had an open space for demonstrating their choice in the governance of their country. Candidate we are selecting in the northern province signifies the emphasis of what was achieved by the RPF Inkotanyi in its various pillars, which are the pillar of economy, well-being, justice, and the pillar of good governance.
Murabibonye ko matora tuvuyemo nyakubahwa Paul Kagame twamutoye kuri 99.7%.
The chairman of the RPF Inkotanyi in the city of Kigali, Dusengiyumva Samuel, emphasized that the elections was characterized by extraordinary participation at all levels, particularly from the village level.
The
participation was really good, but we also found that there are some things we also have to improve basically on the village level. But all in all, the members participated at the extent of 99%. The General Assembly of the RPF Inkotanyi, scheduled on 9th March, is expected to approve the candidate who will represent the party in the presidential elections. Additionally, candidates for the parliamentary elections, which are synchronized with the presidential elections in July, will also be nominated by the party. Adam Squizera, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Adams, for the report. Congolese refugees living in Rwanda have once again protested against the ongoing ethnic discrimination of the Kinyarwanda-speaking communities in their home country. The peaceful protests carried out on Wednesday by the Congolese refugees in Mahama camp followed the others conducted on March 4th and expected to run through March 11th, 2024 across various refugee camps in Rwanda. Protesters from the Mahama camp in Kirehe district took up to streets with placards expressing their grievances. They said they denounced the genocide being perpetrated by the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, against the Tutsi of North Kivu, Banyamulenge of South Kivu, and Bahema in Ituri. Some of the refugees claim that the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, which happened in Rwanda in 1994, was stopped but continued in DRC, where the Tutsi are killed systematically and see their properties looted. Yet the DRC government and the international community does nothing about it. Our families are killed every day. They are raped, including children. We are facing extreme torture. My husband was killed too. I was also kidnapped for about 2 weeks. We came here to protest because we are facing ethnic cleansing, and all this started back in 1994 until today, and we're still refugees. We need the international community to understand our grief. The refugees denounced the current alleged genocide against the Tutsi in DRC and called both the Kinshasa government and the international community to act immediately. Mutijima William, the representative of the refugees, reiterated that the peaceful protests are meant to show the international community their grievances.
We act for our family staying in Congo, for for continue to be victim in the DRC, specifically in North Kivu, but it's in North Kivu and the Ituri, Bahema and the Banyamulenge in South Kivu. So we're planning this day by show to the international community our Congolese or our Tutsi in Congo continue to be victims.
As of the end of September 2023, Rwanda hosted 135,733 refugees, asylum seekers, and other displaced populations. The majority, about 84,867, representing 62.5%, came from the Democratic Republic of Congo, 50,146, representing 36.9% from Burundi, 587, representing 0.4%, are hosted at the Emergency Transit Mechanism, and 133, representing 0.1% refugees and asylum seekers, are from other nationalities. Approximately 94% of these individuals reside in camps, with the remaining 6% living in urban areas. Rwanda has also experienced an influx in new asylum seekers due to increased instability in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo since November 2022, with approximately 12,684 recorded as of the end of September 2023, with numbers anticipated to grow in the next year. At least 30 authors are in for the authors in Rwanda are in for the International Francophone Authors Union. The 4-day training of the union that was launched on Wednesday aims to discuss and strengthen the career or the work of the authors. Prince Manzi.
Finalement, l'opération turquoise, c'est une opération contre le FPR.
The French historian who led the team of experts and researchers commissioned in 2019 by French President Emmanuel Macron to probe the then French government role in the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, Vincent Duclerc, demonstrated that such union is another reinforcement in demonstrating the truth.
Je pense que la relation aujourd'hui entre la France et le Rwanda, elle est fondée sur le partage de la vérité. C'est-à-dire que, en fait,
I believe that the relationship between Rwanda and France currently is based on elaborating the truth. I cannot skip the fact that France used to deny the history. So this book helps me to reveal that the truthful history as I explore it and point out the most important thing is the conspiracy of the French authorities, which is a tragedy for the Fifth Republic and the French democracy that has become a dictatorship. This conspiracy eased and fueled what led to the implementation of the genocide against the Tutsi. This is my role to play, demonstrating the truth for the betterment of the future of our nations. Rwandan authors find this union as a platform for nourishing their career. These are authors from various countries, and we share our experiences. We could also connect with an author we are working on a certain project in the future, and these result into various range of information for the generations to come. Johan Hamel, managing the Institut Français du Rwanda, reiterates that this year's edition, the focus was on books describing Rwanda's history and the genocide against the Tutsi.
C'est une édition un peu spéciale parce que 2024 est une année très forte pour le Rwanda, mais aussi pour les relations franco-rwandaises.
It is a special edition as 2024 is an amazing year for Rwanda and its relationship with France. This year, we'll be commemorating for the 30th time the genocide against the Tutsi, which is something big to authors and journalists. We all gathered them here to elaborate again on this history.
Pour revenir sur ce qu'il s'est passé.
The current edition of the International Francophone Authors Union is the third. The edition took place simultaneously with Francophonie Month.
University students are being urged to focus on creating their own jobs instead of seeking to be employed. Some of the young people who learned this secret have already achieved a lot, including providing employment to their peers. Christelle Wase.
Winema Desange is a student and entrepreneur in the field of clothing and decoration. She asserts that she has benefited a lot from her business.
Is that many people do not trust in girls, especially me. I was still young, yeah, I started this business at a very young age. So people could say that I'm not capable of doing something, so they could go and use other producers. Like they couldn't have trust in me that I can produce what they want. I have achieved to pay for myself school fees for the university. That's the thing that I can say that I have achieved. I have achieved a lot. Like the business is developing. I have increased the number of employees in my business. They can't wait for the government to provide for them because the government has a lot to invest in. So
some are happy with the project because it has given them jobs and they can support themselves and their families as well.
The money I earn from this helps a lot, and now I'm able to solve some problems.
I started working with them while I was still single, but now I'm married, and the money I earned contributed a lot on my wedding. University students creating their own job to help them meet some of their needs is one of the things addressed by His Excellency President Paul Kagame at the Umushyikirano National Council recently held in February this year.
ariko ugiye kureba imfashanyo zijya kuri aba banyeshuri muri kaminuza ugiye kaminuza zo ni nyinshi.
But when you look at how the government supports these students, it gives all that it has. The distributed resources of the government in its activities are limited. Students who have side jobs apart after their studies in order to earn something and also add something on the support they receive. It is normal for a student to add on something after receiving the government support.
Women continue to make a significant contribution in taking the lead in the development of their peers and the country as a whole. The report from the National Institute of Statistics in Rwanda shows that the unemployment rate among youth has dropped by 20.30% in the fourth quarter of 2023 from 21% in the third quarter of 2023. So far, the government continues to sensitize young people to create their own jobs. Christelle Uwase, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Christelle. On Wednesday in the city of Kigali, a strategic leadership forum was convened, meant to provide leaders of state-owned enterprises with the skills and tools they need to successfully lead corporations to achieve the set goals and objectives.
It is a forum organized by the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning and the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Rwanda. The CEO of this institute elaborates more on why convening the SOE's leaders.
Actually, our mission today is to help to raise awareness and awareness about the role of SOEs, state-owned enterprises, the role they can play in ensuring that Rwanda can be able to realize the Vision 2050. These SOEs were set up for various, they have various mandates, and they are really supposed to deliver, because when you look at the amount of investment the government has done, the government has already invested more than 2.4 trillion in these SOEs. So naturally, they are supposed to contribute to the development agenda of the country. Yeah, generally there are mechanisms in place. I am sure the Auditor General normally visits some of these enterprises. He audits them. He gives them, management comments, and I'm sure also the boards follow these up on a day-to-day basis to make sure that the management can be able to implement some of those recommendations that were raised. But I think what is not being done enough is for people to sit and see and start sieving through some of those challenges that have been highlighted, because you could find some of them are systemic challenges which need probably maybe a change in policy orientation or in structures or things like that. And there are others that really relate probably maybe to capacity constraints, and those are issues that can be addressed. And also one of the things that I've liked about this forum, this strategic leadership forum, is that at least we have some SOEs that are doing better than others, and they're trying to share some of the best practice so that it can motivate those other ones that are not doing so well, so that they can also follow their colleagues that are doing much better.
Miramago adds that state-owned enterprises are urged to play part in the country's development, hence bringing international experts to scale these leaders.
When you compare with previous years, there are obvious good changes on the Rwanda Energy Group, and that is where we are found in clean audit, currently in the Auditor's General Report. The government reinforced the board of REG and also support where there is a gap in the budget.
The Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Rwanda stresses on the need for fostering proper management in SOEs to meet their role in the country's development.
And the report brings us to the end of tonight's edition. On behalf of the entire news production as well as the technical team that made it happen, many thanks for being with us. And up until next time, stay safe and have a great evening. Goodbye.